Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more Ace Attorney. Last time, we started the game as the prime suspect for the murder of Dr. John H. Wilson. We left off after hearing the testimony and coughing of the waiter, Hosanaga. Anyway, let's continue the trial with Prosecutor Ouchi praising the sun.
Praise the sun! So the court has now heard a précis of the case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on the trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in the terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court.
Oh, by the way, let me check this evidence. Oh, cool. They translated. Kitchen entrance. Well, that's nice. I can't turn it around, though. That would be useful. They'll probably be like, oh, check out the back.
But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has a decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
So? What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? No! Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You've said it. Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you going to abandon that duty? Or are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryanosuke. The defendant pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is.
So cool!
Oh wait. Oh, it's not open to the public, so the rappling will be just military guys. So cool. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchi, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
Ugh.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witness at once. Two witnesses? Witnesses,
kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iesa Nosa. Reporting for duty, sir. Yes, sir, no, sir.
Myself, I employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Kurekuta, at your service.
Curio Korekuta.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Like Curio, but I don't know his last name.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take a tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying. Okay, me too. He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because of its high-class restaurants with rich clientele. Right? I see, although, to be honest, the sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative.
The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir.
Is there a baby? This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. Will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred.
Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a technical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At the precise moment a firearm was discharged, I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously abandoned precious curio.
Well, so you Sergeant Nosa actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. The wicked university cadet, sir.
The cruel and unforgivable enemy.
What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day.
But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Oh. Yes, that's all I did. Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. Idiot. Don't do that. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. That's when I'd finish. I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting.
Huh?
I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down and just as I picked it up,
bang!
Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who the criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses.
Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in this testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring the despicable student to justice.
Certainly. The testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare this victim.
Yes!
What in the name of Emperor? What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean the defense. Man, I hate that they say yes instead of hold it.
Demands the right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachibaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Objection. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yeah, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you.
Yeah!
Alright then. It's all or nothing. Cross-examination. What the witness saw. Investigating. I should probably just press them all.
Yes! Yes! Hold it!
Why? Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention, anything that bothers you. Alright then, this beef steak you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Tension! Ah! Beef steak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Oh. If food could receive medals of honor, beef steak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Attention! Ah! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it. Yes, sir, I will, sir. On the double, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry, I'll do my best. So next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing some sort of wah crying sound? Negative. Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Oh, I got an achievement for that. Prime Presser. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
Yes!
Hold it! I have no idea what you're talking about. Ah, Koban boy. A Koban? You mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Hoi period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day with said item secreted in my bosom pocket. Or secreted. Secreted. In hope of affluent cognoscent, appraised of its indisputable value being present. So you were hoping to sell your Koban coin to Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant?
Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. You were about to assert that the penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious Koban. Is that so?
Well...
You little absurd cadet. You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination.
No, I didn't say anything. Although penniless might just be the word I was looking for.
In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of a midday luncheon.
There remained precious few presents with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his braised veal at the time, was my sole prospect. I see. At the precise moment a firearm was discharged, I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
Yes!
Hold it. So you're saying you actually saw me at that time?
Affirmative!
I saw you. Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian. That's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over at the victim's table. What? So if it was? Well, if it really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Double R! My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I got where I am today in the army if I could sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem the soldier's absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back the cowardly little weasel. Whereabouts in this here son, carry on.
Yes!
Hold it. So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was... I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see here in a black uniform? Well, there's one standing right next to me who fits the description well, but he did it. It was you, little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man from behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen from the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me. What is it, Ryunosuke? You found out it was me? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record, and if you find an inconsistency there with what you just said, don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. Okay? Oh, yeah. You shot him in the face, or in the front.
Yes!
Objection! What? Why are you playing academic? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic printed in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes! There's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just don't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency. There's no place for an amateur student here in the grand courtroom.
This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Idiots. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what the?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance of the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, sir, no, sir. I mean, what, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, that cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes.
Yes!
Hold it. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Some sort of demon. Certainly there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, there would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak, sir.
What?
The latest testimony the court heard had proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Iasa Nosa, did not see the defendant fire a gun at all.
That's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There's no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this courtroom. Inconsistency seer. Achievement. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from one discrepancy. This is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. The university cadet here, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. Yes! But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it off the floor. And you, old man? Did you not see the moment the victim was shot either?
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure?
Indeed, the Hoi era koban, my prize coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habit to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in hope of meeting a rich diner who might likely buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoi treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
The koban vanished.
Hunting around under the table I was,
in case mayhap it had fallen there and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did.
But I heeded not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find your coin in the end?
No.
I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoe Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prized coin for himself. So I'm sure everyone present is aware. This case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to the Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be to the British. It would be forgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf in the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there's only one person that could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryanusuke Naruhodo.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir. At once, sir.
Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Aido. Aido Nosa. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Aido Tenshun. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Alright, I'm gonna stop it here. Next time, we'll go through the second testimony of these two. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and see ya. Bye.